Hello, my name is Antonio Melendez and I'm going to explain my code. This is a Hangman game, and for this game I use the Kotlin programming language. Now Kotlin is an object-oriented programming language similar to Java. It can actually run Java code, which is pretty cool. I'm going to explain my first file here. You can see that I have a lot of comments, and now comments are ignored by the computer. Comments are used to explain the code to humans. I use a lot of comments, as you can see, because it's really difficult to memorize all these things, and it's easier for me to explain what's going on when I have these comments. That's the purpose of comments. In my first file, you can see that I have an object that is called word picker, and I have a variable here. This variable is immutable because once the computer chooses a random word from this list, that word is going to be the same word for the rest of the game until the player plays another game. We're going to see examples of mutable variables in the future, but this is immutable. I have this function here, and you can see that in Kotlin, the functions begin with fun. This is short for function, and this is called pick random word. And this uses, from the standard Kotlin library, it uses the .random to pick a random word. Okay, I didn't use any third-party libraries. I only used from the standard Kotlin library. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now I'm going to explain my Hangman file, and this is a class that is called Hangman, and this manages the logic of the game. You can see here that I have the maximum number of tries, which is 6. I can obviously change that, and then I have the these are also variables, but these are mutable variables because they can change. And this is called correct guesses and incorrect guesses. And you guessed, they are used to store the correct guesses or the incorrect guesses the player has made in the game. Now, throughout the game, this function called display progress is going to display the progress of the player. This function, something that's interesting about this function is that it uses underscores to hide the secret word, okay? And it uses 3 printline statements. The first printline statement prints the word, the correct word, with the guesses revealed. The second statement, the second printline statement, prints the incorrect guesses that the player has made. And the third printline statement prints the tries the player has left. And you can see here that I subtracted the size of the incorrect guesses from the maximum number of tries. I also have this function that is called make a guess or make guess function. This function is what the player is going to frequently see. And now you can see that I have the when keyword. In this particular case, the when keyword is used for the logic of the game, and there's 3 different cases. In the first case, this is when the player guesses a letter that has already been guessed, then he's going to see this. If he guesses something that's correct, he's going to see this over here, and you can see that it's going to be added to the correct guesses variable in the top. And the third case is when the player guesses something incorrect, an incorrect letter, that's going to be added to the incorrect guesses variable in the top over here. I also have the isGameOver function, which is a Boolean function. It just checks if the player has won or not, and if the game is over, obviously. And then I have this function that is called isWon, that just checks if the player has won the game. Again, this is a Boolean function. I have my main file here with my main function, and this function is used to run the game. Okay, you can see here that I have a printline statement welcoming the player to play the game. I have some variables. For example, the first variable is the secret word chosen randomly from the word picker, and that secret word is stored in Hangman. Now, I have this while loop that uses the Hangman variable to check if the game is over and to display the progress. We also have this print statement here, which prompts the player to choose a letter, to try to guess a letter. And you can see, really important in the input here, that I have this dot lowercase. If the player puts a capital letter, then it will automatically change it to a lowercase letter. I have another instance of the when keyword here, and in this instance, the when keyword is used for input validation. It checks if the player has guessed the letter. If the player types a number, for example, then it will print this out, telling the player to guess a letter. It displays the progress again. And finally, we have the print line statement that this also uses the when keyword. And in this particular case, it checks a condition if the player has won or lost. Finally, when the do loop is over, we have this print statement prompting the player to type Y or N depending on if the player wants to continue playing the game or not. If he doesn't want to continue playing the game, this prints out. If he wants to continue playing, then a fresh new game will start. Okay, now we're going to run the terminal. We're going to type this. This is the compiler for Kotlin, and this is to run the game. Okay, the game's going to begin. Now it's a small word. I think it's this one, toy. Okay, and you can see that we won the game. You want to play again? Yes. Let's see, R, E, O. Let's put O again, and you can see that it says you already guessed it. Try again. Let's put a capital A. It just takes it as an A. Let's put a number, the number 6. Okay. I have one more try. X. You want to play again? And no. And that's it. Okay, thank you. I hope you like my game. Have a wonderful week.